for 4.3, we're looking at 3 by 3 systems. So some key terms, when we have a 3 by 3 system, that means we have 3 functions with the same 3 variables. So if we were to graph this, this would actually be a 3D graph where the third variable represents the depth. So in solving a 3 by 3 system, our calculator, once again, is our best friend. So this is the process we would press in our Casio calculator to graph it. Menu, equation, simultaneous, 3 unknowns, we enter our equations, and then we solve. So this video is going to be me showing you how to do that. You must have all the variables on one side and the constant on the other in order to enter it in our calculator. So, for example, find the solution to the system. So I'm going to do the first one in our classroom calculators, the Casio, and then the second one, I'll show you how to do this using Desmos. So, we're on menu, equation, so I'm going to go down and over. Simultaneous is F1. We have 3 unknowns. And then I'm going to clear it. I pressed F3 to do that. And then I'm going to type in just the numbers. So I have all my variables on one side with my x's, y's, and z's in order, and my constants on the other. So 3, 4. If there's not a number there, remember that's a 1, 3, then next line, -2, 7, 2, and 6. And then final row, -10, 12, -1, and -3. So then I have everything in there, and I press F1 to solve. And it tells me x is 0, y is 0, and z equals 3. And then that's it. That's our solution. So for the second one, now I'm going to show you how we would find that using Desmos. So for Desmos, there's a special kind of calculator we want to use, and it's called a matrix calculator. So I'll show you guys in class how to get to the matrix calculator. I'll also link this in the Google Classroom. New matrix, and we have 3 rows, so that's how tall it is, and 4 columns. That's how wide it is. And then similar process, we type in our numbers, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 4, -1, 7. 3, 1, 3, -2. Okay. So once you have that, you press enter. Now on this new line, I'm going to press the RREF button. And then this is matrix A. And so inside those parentheses, that A is going. And so now it gives us what our solution would be. So be careful. You want to look at the very right for your answer, and it goes in order of how it was. So my x's were first, so x equals 1. Then my y's were second, y equals 1. And then my z equals -2. And that's our solution. Now, find the solution to the system. Here we have a little different one. So I'm going to show you guys how we can do this by hand first, and then how we could still use our calculator to do this. So by hand, well, we already know what z is. So we're going to use what's called back substitution. So in place of z, I'm going to put this -1. So y minus -1, don't forget parentheses when we substitute, equals 3. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm using a mouse, so it's a little messy looking. Y equals a negative and a negative make a positive, so y plus 1 equals 3. And then we use those Algebra 1 skills and solve for y. Y equals 2. So now we already know z is 1. We know y is 2. We can find x. So x minus 2, I'm going to replace y, which is 2, plus 3, and our z was -1, equals -4. And then we do some simplifying. X -2 times 2 is -4. X minus 4, 3, and -1 make -3 equals -4. We can combine -4 and -3. So x minus 7 equals -4. And then we add 7 on both sides. X equals -3. And then we have our 3 answers. X equals -3, y equals 2, and z equals -1. Now, we can still use our calculator for this. So I'll show you guys using the Desmos calculator again. So matrix, we still have 3 rows and 4 columns. Now that first one is just like normal. 5, 4, -1, 0. Now our second row, we don't have anything there for x. So that's actually going to be 0. Then we have 10 with y, -3, and 11. And then our third row, we don't have anything in for x, so that's a 0. We don't have anything there for y, so that's a 0. Then 5 and 15. Press enter. RREF A, and then it spits out our answer. X equals -1, y equals 2, and z equals 3. And that is 4.3.